Hi, and welcome to the Maine Take. My name is Dana Connors, and it's my pleasure to be your host as the Maine State Chamber of Commerce twice a month brings you a program to inform you about an initiative that's taken place in our state. Maybe it's an issue that we feel is important for you to better understand. And most of all, I'll bet there's a lot of occasions in which we bring to you people that are at work making a difference in our state. Today, our program is devoted to all three of those. We have a special program for you today. We're living at a time when we face some major challenges in addition to the pandemic, or perhaps influenced by the pandemic. Our first guest today is talking about an issue that does not need to be explained because we are living with it, and that is our workforce challenge. I am pleased to welcome the president and CEO of the community college system, David Daigle, who is here with us, who had an incredibly important date just a bit ago, in which a press conference was held to make a very significant announcement in terms of the impact it's going to have on workforce in our state. David, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Welcome, and I'm anxious to have you share what you had the opportunity to share with all of us just a bit ago.
Dana, it's always my pleasure to get together with you. So thank you for inviting me onto the show. Yeah, we were thrilled. I think this is an important announcement, but we were joined by Governor McKernan, who introduced Governor Mills and introduced Greg Powell and then introduced me. And the formation there is what we will call the Harold Alfond Center for the Advancement of Maine's Workforce. And in that center, we are going to pool or put together all of our workforce development funding. So that includes the $35 million that Governor Mills has directed to the Maine Community College system specifically for short-term training and workforce development, and a new gift from the Harold Alfond Foundation for $15.5 million that will allow us to really build what will become a transformational workforce development powerhouse throughout Maine and throughout New England, and I think become a model for the rest of the country. We'll take those two investments and we will pool our other funds. People know about our remote work grant, and we have existing Maine Quality Center funding, and we will draw in some corporate resources and put all of that together and have a $60 million investment pool that we'll use over the next 4 years to help skill up Maine's workforce. And there are some important features to this that I think folks need to know about. So Dana, I don't know, you were there. I was pleased to have you with us. If you had any questions you wanted to address, or I can just sort of explain to your listeners how this system will work.
Well, I certainly want you to explain, because I think that you used the word that I want to repeat because I think it's very appropriate, and that is transformative. I think not only was it historic in terms of the investment, but also the hope that it gave to Maine's employers and employees, that here I have a chance to really remotely have access to increased training, stackable credits. For the employer, I'll be able to find the type of skill working with, as a partner, working with the community college to be sure that my needs are met. I think it's magic. I think it is transformative. And I think above all else, not only does it make a significant difference in meeting our workforce challenge today and going forward, it gives everyone a sense of hope to know that we are getting this done. This is making a difference.
I think that's right, Dana. And I do think we can all use a good dose of hope after 18 months of pandemic level conditions. So there are really three interconnected layers to the Center for the Advancement of Maine's Workforce. And that first layer takes the investment from Governor Mills, $35 million, and really broadly expands our ability to create short-term training programs that are linked to existing job opportunities. So we start this program by working with businesses who need employees. They've got vacancies that they can't fill, and those vacancies are holding our economy back. And we deliver short-term training to fill those vacancies and get those businesses the skills they need so that they can fill orders, so that they can open their inns and their restaurants, so that they can move forward. But the new layer that gets added then from the Harold Alfond grant allows us to continue to work with businesses, with their existing employees, and help to skill up and train those employees as well. And as we're building that training momentum, we're able to then look to advanced certificates, work industry level credentials, and college degrees, and really put people on a path to earn a college degree. So the first level is entry level skill training. The second level is advanced skill development with the business while you're working. And then the third level creates pathways to credentials and degrees. These tools and practices will support a system of continuous workforce development from a person's first job through a lifetime of promotions and career advancements. And we're helping businesses keep pace with an economy and a business climate that's changing at a breakneck speed. So I really do think that we will have what I expect to be the most powerful workforce development and credential attainment engine in the country.
Yep, boy, that says it all. I also have to hand out credit to you. When you think about those who are speaking today, you had the governor, Governor Mills, you had the former governor who's also chair of your foundation, Governor McKernan, and you had Greg Powell representing the Harold Alfond Foundation. He happens to be chair of that foundation. They were extremely complimentary, and the compliments didn't stop with the words themselves. Harold Alfond's foundation has years ago invested in the community college because they believe significantly in the worth and the value of what you're doing. And today, with an historic $15.5 million, they've upped the ante, so to speak. So not only did you must feel great, because not only did you get a lot of kudos for the role of the community college and your leadership, but that was backed up by $60 million placed in your hands to do some significant success with your partners, the business community, to move the state forward. Nice job.
It is built on partnerships with businesses and industry trade associations like yours. The Chamber is one of our compact members. We're very proud of that. And that gives us the opportunity to execute these skill development resources, bring these skill development resources to smaller businesses and who have shared needs, and we can pool them and we can deliver efficient training and get Maine's economy going. But there were some very kind words bestowed on me. I'll tell you, Dana, I'm happy for the people in the Maine community colleges. They have worked tirelessly, and they have really brought their workforce development, their career attainment, and their pathway work to the forefront. They've transformed and transformed again to meet the current needs of our economy. And the credit goes to the people that are working in those colleges every day, guiding students and trainees into new career opportunities.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And you know, when you think about what was said here today, there was a strong emphasis on we're in this together. And I think most people realize that the most successful economic program is a collaborative effort. And it was former Governor McKernan, the chair of the foundation, who more than once said, this program, this commitment will come about and success will be enjoyed, as we have seen in Maine. The federal government steps up, the governor's made a strong commitment, philanthropic efforts are there, and the private sector is at the table. And that's what we witnessed today in that announcement.
It really is. It's a huge partnership. It's a necessary partnership. And everyone recognized the need that Maine has and then work collaboratively to fill that need. So it's a fantastic opportunity. To use your words, it's a great day for the state of Maine.
It is a great day for the state of Maine, and I'm very grateful that I had a chance to be with you today to hear of this announcement and to have this opportunity to share it with the rest of Maine. Congratulations for what you are embarking on and having brought it together. It is a good day for Maine.
Well, Dana, you know that I'm so happy to have you there and happy to have you become a part of it, because you are one of the partners. You had the statewide chamber, and that's where those linkages come together and really make us work. So that partnership is important and it needs to continue. And together, working together, we can really come out of this pandemic and build a whole new opportunity for the state of Maine.
Well said, my friend. Take care. Good luck.
All right. Take care.
Now let's turn our attention to another issue that is on the front burner of this whole country, but Maine is committed to do its part. We know it as climate change. And we also know that because of the frequent and intense issues associated with drought, with fires, with sea levels, with storms, the list goes on and on, it's pretty hard to deny the impact that climate change has on our lives, our livelihood, and our future. It's not to be denied, and the state of Maine is not denying it. I'd now like to turn our attention to what Maine is doing when it comes to climate change. More specifically, to talk about Climate Action Plan, Maine Won't Wait. We have an event coming up next Tuesday, the 12th of October at Maple Hill Farms, and we invite you all to be a part of that. We have an interesting program in store for you, and here to tell us more about it is our latest addition to the Maine State Chamber team. His name is Ben Lucas. We're extremely proud and pleased that he's with us. He's on our advocacy team. He's had, in spite of the fact that he's a young man, he's had some pretty extensive experience. More recently came to us from the Maine Jobs Council. Previous to that was involved in some campaigns, the most recent, Senator Collins' reelection. Before that, he had experience with Bernstein Shore on environmental and energy issues, and that's precisely what he's doing with us. Ben Lucas, it's a pleasure to welcome you officially to our team for everybody to know, and to thank you for being a part of us. So Ben, you tell us a little bit more about the event, yourself, and who you've brought on the program today.
Sure, thanks, Dana. And first, let me start by just saying what a tremendous honor and privilege it is to join the team here at the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. And I appreciate you having me on the program today to preview our upcoming Energy Summit. So as you noted, on October 12th, the Chamber will be hosting an Energy Summit. And the focus of this summit will be talking about Governor Janet Mills's Climate Action Plan. Before I dive into the specifics of the summit, I thought it would be good to provide a little bit of a background and a quick reminder on what the Climate Action Plan is. So in December of 2020, Governor Mills introduced her 4-year Maine Won't Wait Climate Action Plan. The action plan came from recommendations of the work of the Maine Climate Council, which is an assembly of scientists, industry leaders, members of the business community, bipartisan local and state officials, as well as engaged citizens who are working to address the effects of climate change on our state. While there has been tons of details that have come from the Climate Action Plan, I thought it would be important today to highlight a few of the high-level goals, which are among some of the most aggressive renewable energy requirements in the country. One of the first goals is reaching 80% renewable energy by 2030 and a goal of 100% renewable energy by 2050. Another goal of the Climate Action Plan is to cut greenhouse gas emissions in Maine by 45% by the year 2030 and 80% by the year 2050. A third goal is achieving carbon neutrality by the year 2045. And lastly, creating 30,000 new clean energy jobs by the year 2030. Now, the work of the Maine Climate Council and the Climate Action Plan is guided by 6 different working groups. In this summit, we will be highlighting the work of 4 of the different working groups who are working to implement the goals that have been put in place by the Climate Action Plan. The 4 working groups we will be highlighting are the Energy Working Group, the Transportation Working Group, the Building, Housing, and Infrastructure Working Group, and the Natural and Working Lands Working Group. We'll be starting off the summit with a welcoming video message from Governor Mills, and then Hannah Pingree, who is the Director of the Governor's Office of Policy, Innovation, and the Future, will kick us off with an overview of the entire Climate Action Plan before getting into panelists who will provide updates on the status of the various working groups. Right now, we have 15 different panelists lined up to give presentations throughout the day, and it is really a great combination of folks from within state government who are working to carry out the goal of the Climate Action Plan, and also members of the business community who have really fantastic stories to tell about the way their businesses and their industries are adapting to the changes that are coming from the Climate Action Plan. Just to provide a quick preview of who some of the panelists that we have that'll be joining us, we'll have Dan Burgess, who is the Director of the Governor's Energy Office, who is one of the chairs of the Energy Working Group. Joyce Taylor from the Maine Department of Transportation, who is one of the chairs of the Transportation Working Group. Michael Stoddard from the Efficiency Maine Trust, who is the chair of the Building, Housing, and Infrastructure Working Group. And then Tom Abello, who is one of Governor Mills's legislative directors, and he's the chair of the Natural and Working Lands Working Group. Now, the rest of the panels will be filled out by some representatives from some great Maine-based companies, as well as industry leaders and associations who are really taking a leading approach to reach the goals that have been set by the Climate Action Plan. It's really a fantastic group of panelists and presenters. It should be a great day and an incredibly informative summit about the status of the working groups and the Maine Climate Action Plan. For those who are interested in attending, please visit the Maine Chamber's website at www.mainechamber.org. We do have a max capacity of 65 in-person attendees due to the pandemic, but I will say we will also be live streaming the event, and you can participate that way. So we have a few more openings for our in-person attendees. Again, I would recommend getting to the Chamber's website sooner rather than later because those spots are filling up. But again, you can participate either in person or virtually. You can register both at the Maine Chamber's website. Now, transitioning to one of the guests that we have on the program today, I think this summit will give a great overview of what we are doing in Maine and what Maine-based companies are doing to adapt to the changes from the Climate Action Plan. But as I was putting the summit together, I thought it would be really great to get a perspective of what's happening nationally and maybe why some global and national-based companies are choosing to invest into Maine as we work to reach the renewable goals that have been set forward in this Climate Action Plan. So we're lucky to have with us today Craig Nale, who is a government relations associate with EDP Renewables, which is a global-based company who has a very exciting and what I think is innovative project that they are trying to get underway up in Aroostook County, which is the number 9 wind farm project. And at this point, I would turn it back over to you, Dana, and Craig to talk about some more details with that project.
Yeah, thanks, Ben, and thanks for the information that you shared about our upcoming event. Craig, welcome to our show. Nice to have you with us today, and particularly pleased being a county guy that you're hard at work up in number 9 mountains range. So it's great.
Yeah,
tell us about that project.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer, for having me. And it's so good to hear too about the Chamber Summit next week. And to be a part of that, I think it's great to be drawing attention to everything that Maine has been doing over the last few years for climate and renewable energy, and how Maine businesses can be benefiting from it. But yeah, we're in Maine because of that clear policy. EDPR actually already operates 11 community solar projects in Maine. We just did one in Westbrook, help them meet their sustainability goals, putting solar panels on a landfill there. And we're able to be investing in Maine and to be planning this project in State County because Maine has set this really clear policy in state law, and it's demonstrated its commitment to renewable energy. So what we're planning for in northern Maine is a direct result of that clear policy. It's the number 9 wind farm. This is part of a broader effort that was set in place by LD 1710 that passed last session that is going to tie generation and transmission up to the county. And our part of it, we're envisioning is anywhere from 250 megawatts to 1,000 megawatts of clean energy that we'll bring to market. This is energy produced by clean renewable resources right here in Maine for the benefit of people right here in Maine. Yeah, that's a brief overview of the project. We're still a few years out. We're in an RFP process with the PUC right now, but again, the reason that we're here right now and that we're so excited about this moment in time is LD 1710. It's potentially transformative for Maine to be able to unlock this vast potential up in northern Maine, where there's great wind speeds, there's open space, and there's a lot of local support for these projects. We're looking ahead to this RFP process, like I mentioned, and contracts hopefully being signed by November of next year. And this provides a lot of opportunity for EDPR and other companies, developing renewable resources in northern Maine, but also I think for a lot of other chamber members who are going to be well positioned to benefit from the economic activity this is going to generate.
I'm going to ask you this question. I think you partially answered it, but it's always good in this case to have it repeated because sometimes Mainers need that boost of confidence that comes with companies investing in our state. They see something that maybe we don't see ourselves. What did you see? You mentioned the strong winds in that particular area, the policy that the bill encouraged this type of thing. What else did you see that brought you to say Maine is a good place to invest?
Yeah, I mean, the clear policy is definitely the biggest reason. I mean, like any business, it's important to EDPR that the state has demonstrated and enacted into law these policies that make it an attractive place to invest. So Maine has shown its commitment to building this industry, and we're here exactly because of that, as a direct result of that. We're also here because this is a major energy infrastructure project. It's going to attract businesses like mine, like EDPR, because we have, like Ben said, we have worldwide experience developing things like this. We have a team of people who are devoted their careers to doing projects like this, and that means doing it in a responsible way that engages the community, but is also going to be extremely viable. I mean, we're here because we want to get this project done. This is the type of project that Maine has identified as being necessary to meeting its climate goals, but I think on a bigger scale, it's the same type of thing that we're hearing about in Congress. We're looking forward to Congress passing an infrastructure tax credit, because I think as a country, we recognize that it's important to have an interconnected energy grid that is going to meet the demands of an energy of the energy future, where we're relying on electricity to power our cars, to power heat pumps, and so this I don't think Maine should not underestimate its place in that really large transformation that's going on nationwide. And I hope Maine appreciates all it has to offer and the potential for Maine businesses and Maine people to play a big role in that going forward.
Thank you. That's encouraging. Also, from a global perspective, how are we doing in Maine when it comes to, you're aware of our climate action plan, you've made the investment based upon a policy, and we seem to be really moving aggressively into the renewables, but that's my opinion. I'd welcome yours. How are we doing?
Maine is doing great. We really are. I mean, the clear guidance that we've gotten from the legislature and the governor is really important in signaling to the industry that Maine is moving in the same direction as a lot of other states already have been, and we keep seeing bills passed every week. I mean, just last week in Illinois, a huge climate bill passed that is a signal from that state that they're also trying to attract investment and they're trying to meet their climate and energy goals. So Maine is right up there along with a lot of other states in enacting some pretty ambitious policy that has, of course, the climate and environment and energy benefits that I think all of us as Mainers can appreciate. As I think we all see ourselves as good stewards of the environment. We all have good memories at Baxter State Park. But it's not just a climate initiative. It's not just an energy initiative. It's not just an environmental initiative. I think Maine, like a lot of other states, are recognizing that there's a huge economic upside to embracing this new technology, this new workforce, this entire new infrastructure economic development opportunity that renewable energy poses. There's actually a figure in the climate energy Maine climate action plan that says that Maine spends $4.4 billion on imported fossil fuels each year, and that is just such an incredible amount of money, I think, for us to be spending, outside of the state. And it just, I think, proves that there's a tremendous opportunity for us to be investing $4.4 million back into ourselves, into our own state, to produce renewable energy that, right here in Maine for the benefit of us right here in Maine.
Well, thank you, Craig. Those are words that are welcoming, and your confidence in our economy and our future is very much appreciated. Maine won't wait, and I guess you're evidence of that, and we appreciate so much the investment as well as being on the show today to express all of that. So I thank you on behalf of the business community and Maine State Chamber of Commerce, and thank you, Ben, for bringing Craig to our attention. It's great. I hope to see you up home in Aroostook County someday.
Thanks so much. Me too. Can't wait.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Now let's turn our attention to our returning participant that we're anxious to see back. We missed him for a couple of shows, but I understand he's enjoyed the summer, but now he's hard back at it. So Peter, what have you got in store for us today?
Thanks so much, Dana. First I wanted to just say, congratulations on tackling some big topics. That I'm looking forward to your Climate Action Summit next week. And then to have this community college effort to develop the workforce is so important. I mean, we're just seeing it everywhere, from the hotels to the stores to the coffee shops. They all need people, and they need skilled workers more than anything. But what I wanted to talk to you about today was just so our biggest story so far this week has been it's another real estate story. We love to cover real estate. The Maine's public broadcasting affiliate, Maine Public, announced yesterday that they have bought a building at 35 Commercial Street on the east end of Portland, and plan to move. They've outgrown their space on Marginal Way in Portland, and they invested over $10 million in a building, and almost more importantly, a parking lot next to it on Portland's east end. And they plan to develop the parking lot as their future headquarters, which is pretty exciting. This has been our lead story of the past 24 hours. They'll eventually sell the building that comes with it, but it's just, it's turning out to be kind of that area with the WEX headquarters, the Covetrus headquarters, hotel development, and that sort of thing has turned out to be a very interesting part of the state, I would say.
Oh, I guess the evidence is pretty clear. Every day you drive down into that part of Portland on the waterfront, and it's remarkable what gets added. It seems like every time you go, there's something different. Moving there, as you've just described by Maine Public, is really not surprising in some ways because of what it does provide. It's surprising that there's space available left, but they found it, so good for them. And we're just fortunate that they're here providing the service that they do. Thanks for bringing this to our attention, Peter.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. It's always a pleasure being on the show. I appreciate it, Dana.
Well, look forward to 2 weeks from now hearing another good story from you. You always bring good news, and we like good news. So thanks, Peter.
Thanks so much, Dana. Appreciate it.
Well, it's our pleasure this week to be sharing with you what we consider to be some major challenges to our state, and to also tell you what's being done to address them. You know, experience and this show reminds us that there's a very thin line between success and failure. And when you look inside that issue and you start to translate it, you're going to find two words that are very prevalent that separate success from failure. And that's challenges and opportunity. I guess we all know that throughout your professional life, you're going to face a number of challenges, some more major, if you will, than others, more difficult than others. And it's not that we face the challenges or we have challenges that matter so much. What does matter is how we address it. Do we kind of accept it as fate handing us a bad card and then move on as lessons learned, perhaps? Or do we really try to do something about it? Do we really seek out those results, those opportunities that come with challenges? Well, today's program, I think, spoke to the fact that we have major challenges too, as a matter of fact, that we've shared with you, both in workforce as well as our role in climate change. But the truth of the matter is, we are doing something about it. We are finding those opportunities, and we saw evidence of it. The climate action plan that says Maine won't wait is really pretty significant in terms of addressing that particular area. The program next week, what Craig had to share with us, is all evidence of that. And then when we look at and examine the initiative that was offered today, the virtual center that will provide up to 24,000 jobs, I say jobs, training for jobs, improving skills that are needed in the next 4 years, that is transformative. That's really going to help what we're very lacking at the moment and gives us hope for the future. Both are very significant. And you know what? We all know that challenges are guaranteed, but results and opportunities are not. But we've also learned from experience that success will come to those who try, and Maine is trying. That is our takeaway for this week. It's been a pleasure to bring you this program. We thank our sponsors. We thank you for being a part of it. And remember this, in a world where you can be anything, be kind to yourself and to one another. Until next time, have a great couple of weeks. And we look forward to seeing you right back here. Thank you.